Hello and welcome to our Wednesday PLO night. Funny thing is that Sir Freddy, which I have labeled as neat, has the PokerStars logo on his name. I suppose it means that he's a PokerStars Pro or something. Not sure. It's just strange if he is a PokerStars Pro. But might be. Not sure. If you know for sure, just let me know. On table 1 I'm going to float. I have so many backdoors and I have the nut cut shot. And then doesn't really help me. But he shouldn't have a that strong hand. And I'm just going to make a raise here. And if he has something up top pair, it's hard for him to call. Because the board is so dry that I can slow play my sets very, very often. And he's going to fold a ton of his range. So I'm just going to show you in the lobby. The neat PokerStars Pro is playing here on how many 10 tables, which is really strange. Why do they give a PokerStars Pro contract to someone who is playing as a neat in PLO? Disturbing, but well, who knows? Oh, we had a great hand on table 2, but no action from the neat. So, as always, we have 4 tables open. And we have around 2-minute delay. So everything you see has happened 2 minutes ago on my screen. It's for security reasons. So when you are commenting about hands, please say what table number it is. 1, 2 on the top and 3, 4 on the bottom, and say what was my hand. Because then I'm going to find the replayer and I'm going to see that what was the hand. Not sure how much the delay is, but I hope Justin works and the delay isn't going to be such a factor. Freddy Torres and PokerStars Pro Team Online. Wow. Out of 50 hands, he is 13 and 6 and he's Pro. What is his main game? It can't be PLO. But if he's good at poker, why does he play like 13 and 6? I don't know what do you have to do to be a PokerStars Pro, but I suppose you have to be a good PR to PokerStars. No limit 200, 600, now he's knitting on PLO25. What the crap? I mean, come on, if you have to bankroll, be a good PR and open up a little. I know it's in his contract that he has to play smaller games too, but I don't think his contract says that he has to play like a nit. Wow. They should give the PokerStars Pro contract to me. That's what I think. And now I get to say we hit the nuts on the flop. I love to say it. It's always nice to play PLO when you can say and we hit the nuts. And we sort of have the nuts here on the turn. So I'm just going to bet. And 7 doesn't really change anything. Either he has a misdraw, and I don't think he's ever going to bluff on this board. So I'm going to get some value from ace-10 type of hands. And if he raises, I'm going to snap call. Because I have $9 behind, and he is representing 4-6 backdoor straight, which he shouldn't have. Like ace-10, 4-6 is what he might have in his value range. And he had an ace-7. Yeah, he had 2 pairs on the river. So that's why we bet so small on the river. If we bet 3/4 of a pot, it's hard for him to call. But when we bet slightly smaller, it's easier for him to call with 2 pairs. Because he thinks he'll get a better price. Yeah, that hyper mega what the fuck rap, as Arnie Metsa said. The problem is when the board is paired, you might be drawing dead already. So it's just a lot easier to just give up. Especially it's a multi-way pot. So you don't really want to hit your draw and then someone bets big. Here we have the flush on the turn and no one bet, so I'm going to make a value bet on the river. Get some value from the straights. Yeah, I'm sure that West of Freddy here. Of course, he might be a winning player at No Limit Hold'em, but even then, I think if you come to play for pennies, like if he is playing No Limit 600 and he has bankroll of 100,000 or something, and he comes to play PLO25, he opens 10 tables and then plays nit on every table, and it's just, I don't know. If I was the owner of PokerStars, I would say tell him to stop that, because it's bad publicity. He should be playing wide, create games, have fun, chat with people. Because the reason why he's on PLO25 is because he has to. It's in his contract. So why not enjoy, chat with people, have fun, and so on. But so instead he is multi-taping, not playing as a nit. Which isn't fun for him, it isn't fun for us, it isn't good for PokerStars. But the problem is that I'm not the owner of PokerStars. So there's nothing for me to say about it. I wish I was. Would be sort of sweet. Greece Spartiatis. Let's see if we can find my missing brother. On last Friday on the Finnish PLO night, we saw a Greece player called Kyyberi. So he's a brother of Kyyberi. He's Kyyberi. And I have missed him since. Ace is on 4. We have a wild short stack, and he folds. Huh. Oh, nice flop. I'm going to bet slightly over half of what to make him chase something, but he's not. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. we have some new members, at least some new members bought some shares for today, and there has been some comments on YouTube videos. I hope some of them are here today, because it's always nice if there's an audience to listen what I say. Well, any publicity is good publicity. I'm not sure if Pot Ripper, it was good publicity for that. Was it Ultimate Bet or what was the network? I'm going to here pot this Ace King Queen Jack. It's such a strong hand, and we have two shorties, and we have Grease players, so yeah, he might have hit the board, but I would suppose if he calls and club doesn't come, I'm just going to shove the turn. And on this tree, I'm just going to shove it. And then we just see if he wants to play for stacks, and he wants, and he has a big wrap, and he doesn't hit it. Woo! 60-40 flip on the turn, so. Yeah, I'm not sure if Artemis says that he is probably learning PLO. I'm not sure. He might have in his contract that all PokerStars pros has to play PLO if stars want to increase PLO traffic. I'm not sure. I don't know, as I'm not the owner of PokerStars. But if he wants to learn PLO, these stats are great for learning if you are a complete beginner. But if you are playing No Limit 600, you should have really good thinking process. You should be familiar with all the poker stuff, basic concepts in poker. So if you are playing No Limit 600 or mid stakes and you transition to PLO, you should be able to play pretty good. All you have to do is learn some couple of new concepts and understand PLO, but no reason you have to play 14 and 10 for a long time. Yeah, for starters, but I think as we had only 30 hands on him at the start of the session, I think this label has been given to him on either the smallest of the micros or at PLO50. Why do we miss Grease players? Are they going somewhere? On the outside table we have a great situation. We make a small 3-bet and hit 3 colors and flop the nuts. And we get the money in. We have blockers, so probably the sunset and flush draw. And we just have to see if we can dodge all the draws. And there's 2 flush draws and it comes there. Sucks. So we had a great shot. We had 72% on the flop on 300 BB pot. Because they both had a flush draw. They were eating their own outs. But couldn't get there. This looks so much like a bluff, but if I want to raise, I'm risking $150 to win $2. And even if he's bluffing, I don't think he's ever folding to a min raise. So it means I have to fight the turn. So I'm just giving up and make a mental note on him that might be a decent player. Well, he's on mobile, so probably not. Trying to see if there are any known fishes on some of the tables. Nothing happening. I don't know how much the delay is, so we are going to measure it. I'm going to open my clock, if I can, in here, and I'm going to say soon. I'm going to say now, and when you can hear it, type it in the chat, so then I know how much delay is about, so we know if the Justin is working or if it's not working. So I'm going to say it now. So when you heard that, you should be typing it. Sir Freddy calls the flop. I'm going to triple barrel him and see if he's on it or if he makes a call down. We get 2 pairs on the river. I'm just going to fire it, because he shouldn't have straight. I would be amazed. So the best hand is some kind of set and 2 pairs. Yeah, he made a call down. Hold and player. So I'm going to make a note on that. So if he makes that type of call downs, then we get the money back next time when we have a hand. We are just value betting him for 3 streets. And I really don't like his call down without the notes there, because I'm representing straight, and when I bet flop turn river, yeah, I have some bluffs on my range. But on PLO25 I often have the straight, and even if I'm betting with the set, he still might lose to it. But of course set I would just check on the river, but yeah, we have too many delay. Now he plays queen 9 8 4. I sort of amazing that he is playing quite tight 17-10, and then he has that type of hands on his range. It's just amazing. Super strange. What happened there? Yeah, close on the button. The problem is that when he calls with this type of hand, it's hard for him to hit the nuts. Of course, now he hits, but for the other 250 times, he's not going to flop the nuts. He's going to flop something with medium strength, and the pot is at least 3-way. So he's going to get a lot of troubles with this hand, and he's going to have to fold so much on the post flop, or he has to make some call downs, and really strange. But not sure how much he has put an effort to learn PLO thinking. And there's a big four-way flip. Let's see who wins. And of course, the fish wins. Ace, King, 10, 7. Wow, he was dominated on so many ways. It's an interesting spot. There's this Buzia and Sir Freddy, both are like 500 BBs deep. I would so much want to be this Sir Freddy. It's an amazing spot, 500 BBs deep with the fish and you're in position. I open and call the 3-bet because there's so much money on the pot. Because I'm going to collect both of these guys' calls. I would suppose that they both 3-bet if they have aces. Here I'm going to barrel the turn when the flush comes. And yes, sometimes he has the flush, but often he folds his draws and medium strength hands. And of course sometimes he draws with like 2 pairs, but there's often a lot of folding equity on the turn, and I bet $3 to $5 pot, so if he folds half of his range, it's good. I make profit. I don't know who my avatar is. It's just a picture I searched for, tinfoil hat, and I found him. On table 2, we turn the wrap, and I'm just going to check. And now it's an interesting spot because no one of them has bet at any point. So I'm going to make a half of value bet against strip aces. I don't think anyone can fold strip aces here. But they fold, they don't have aces. Why do they both call me on the flop? This is so cryptic. Hard to get into the head of bad players. Here WJ Wang 3-bets us. He has pretty wide range. Of course we don't have much on him, and we totally missed the flop, so we can't even bluff him. And we have the fish on the hand, so we are just going to fold. Wow, we had an ace and he didn't see bet it. I'm going to raise back because Pebble, or Pebble, whatever his name, he has min raised me earlier. And if he goes, I'm going to shove pretty much, or yeah, I'm going to shove any non-club turn, and he folds, so yeah, he's bluffing a lot. So make a small note out of that. Easier to play with him. Let's see what kind of tables we have. Table 1 is good. Whoops. Green, green. Wow. Fish dunks for pot, he has something, for sure. Number 1, I'm going to see, but against Tinita I have the cut shot and the flush draw. So let's just barrel him. Wow. Christ. I have the second nuts, so there's no way I'm going to fold second nut, and there's not much value in raising. So this is actually a pretty easy decision, because I'm never folding second nuts here. Of course, I block the 9. He might have 10 high flush, and he's going to often have the ace high flush, but I can't fold my second nut flush without a reach. But he didn't. Wow. Wow, 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 what he had. Yeah, he had a missed draw. Turned into a bluff. I'm going to stab for the pot here. Of course, Sir Freddy probably has aces when he checks the flop. And now the flush comes there, so... Well, we have a wrap. Wow. This might be interesting if Buzia has the jack and Freddy has aces. Yeah, he had a jack and he probably has aces with the flush. Yeah, he had Justin Kings. Justice. I don't like Freddy. For the fact that he made a call down against me. Here we are against Freddy. We have cut shot overpair and a flush draw, so if he has 10-9 we are actually ahead of him. And I think he's raising here with a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to shove on him. I think I'm ahead of his range. Sometimes he might actually fold, which he does, which is super, super bad. I mean, his bet sizing is something that if he has a raise fold range here, instead of c-betting, he check raises me and he pots it. So instead of c-bet, if he's check raising as a pot, he shouldn't be folding ever. Wow. That's one. Funny player. On table 2 we flop pretty hard, 2 pairs and a flush draw. Let's see if we can get some action. Thought about dog betting because this guy is super passive and this Greece guy might be passive, so we just bet 3 streets for value. But that's why out of position sucks. Table of 4, we open, run down and miss the flop against 2 players. One of them is greeny, I'm just giving up here. And wow, the Greece guy thinks and thinks and thinks, and Freddy is having a break. Busia is having a break, so this table isn't good anymore. And even other than that, they both have position on me, so I'm going to leave this table too. Would love to be sitting here. When he calls me on the flop, I'm not going to barrel him. And of course you might think that, yeah, he might do that with air if I always fold the river. If I have any overpair, I'm not folding the river, so there's pretty much no way he can exploit me. Table 1, I don't have much information on the opponent. If I suppose he's check raising me lightly here, then I would check back. But now it's one of those spots that I have the overpair and flush draw. So if he has 2 pairs, we are flipping. If he has just a high flush draw, we are sort of flipping. I'm slightly ahead. And he might raise me with a lot of bluffs. His flop aggression is 61, so I'm not going to fold my overpair and flush draw when there is no straight possibility. So I'm going to put the pressure back on him. So now if he has some kind of weak hand, like 7-9, he's just going to hate himself. On table 2, we pick up the set, and let's see what he has. And he has more than flush draw, and is there even a straight draw? I don't know. So we win both pots. Yeah. He had a cut shot, and did he have an even cut shot? Yeah, with 4. Cut shot and flush draw, but that kind of sucks when you raise as a bluff. Or semi-bluff, because then you have to hit it in and you are so dominated often. Like there. Well, he had 38%. But it's not something where you want to be. On the river, we hit the nuts against passive player. I'm going to pot him here. Because he shouldn't have anything. He might have a straight, and we might mean raise, but if he has a flush, I don't think he's ever folding it. So I'm just going to pot it. A lot of Finnish players today on the tables. We are still waiting to be seated out on table 3. Now we are just waiting. Maybe it's better that I'm not going to sing. It's not that beautiful. Okay, we can close this one and I can move another table from here. So here's the target player. Number 1, when he is marked as red, he is sort of tight player. I don't think he's going to fight on those paired boards without a really strong hand that often. How many orbits can you be sitting out? Also, Freddy came back. Just wondered. I still hate him. PokerStars Pro and I'm still playing Nitty on PLO25. That's so disturbing. Shouldn't be happening. Check mean raise on the river with, oh, he had a 10, yeah, so sort of thought what the hell does he have, but yeah, he had the quads. Didn't see it. We might be flipping here on table 4. It's a Wang 3 bets. I'm going to get it in. I have the overbet flush draw. The only problem is that if he has aces with diamonds, but that would suck. When he thinks that on, I don't think he has aces with diamonds, so whatever he bets, we are shoving. Shoving. But when he checks, then we bet. And now there's so much money in the pot, no matter what happens, we get it in. And if he check raises here, yeah, then he has really strong hand, and that would suck. But that's so tricky that. Oh, he falls ace sucks. But we have $70, and he might have a flush draw. Or he might have some sort of draw. So I'm just protecting myself against something like 7-8, and he had the ace. Well, good to be lucky, but yeah, he called me with, Jesus Christ, 8 high flush draw on the flop, so serves him right. That's justice. The reason why I don't want to check back is if he has some kind of 5-4-3 type of hand, or 7-8, or 9-7-5 type of hand, some kind of weaker hand, then I don't want to give him a free river. And if he has weak 2 pairs, he might fold it sometimes. Not sure, but sometimes. So we are running hot today. Yeah, we lost the one 300 BB pot, but after that we have won 3 or 4 flips, so it's a great day. Might be just crawling here, but let's see what happens. Nice flop. And here we got the money in with the set, which is great. And I don't know why he's thinking he is raised to 850 and he has 14 behind. Here I'm just going to call when I hit my full house and let him bet the river, because there's not much value in raising. And he had a smaller set, yeah. And he didn't have anything, wow. The third Fred has never donked, so I'm just going to actually fold here. Yeah, it's a great flop to donk, but it's a first donk on him ever. So I'm giving him respect. What did Olka have here? He crossed the flop with gut shot, which sucks. Or he's floating, which sucks when he doesn't really have any equity. Pure folds out of position sucked. On the turn, he donks, which doesn't make sense. If he has 2 pairs of set on the flop, why would he just check call? Such a Troy board. So on the turn, he rips in something that doesn't make sense. And when I call the turn, he fires the river and hopes I have just the spade draw, which, yeah, he played flop bad, he played turn bad, he played river bad. And out of those, I think turn and river are the worst. Flop is bad, turn is even worse, and river is the worst. Well, probably river is not the worst. It's the only one that has some chance of working out, but thank you. On the outside table, we had an interesting hand against Finnish player. I 3-bet him. I have been 3-betting him a lot in position with the smaller bet sizing. And, well, he is 22, 11, and 1. So I don't think he's going to 4-bet me a lot, but yeah, he has seen me doing this, so he doesn't give me much respect for aces. So if I hit my hand, I definitely get value. And it's sort of a semi-good flop. His flop check raise is 17%. So he definitely has some kind of rundowns that hit this board. So I'm checking behind to see if I can get a river that improves me. Or get a pair in river or something like that. And 9 is, it gives me the flush draw and he bets. And when I check back the flop, I think he's going to bet this turn always. So that's why I'm going to call. I have the flush draw. He might have 2 pairs, queen jack type of hands. So I'm going to call him. On the river, I make the flush. He checks and I value bet with a nice bet sizing that might be a bluff, might be a value bet. And if he has a straight, it's sort of hard for him to fold because it's a backdoor flush. And he thanks, and on the final seconds he folds. But almost got a payout. But it's something that if I had something like open-ender or cut shot and ace of clubs blocker in my hand, I might bluff that river. And I think he knows it, so that's why I think he might call me often. Now, here's a great player, Arthur Dent. 119 hands and he's 71-4. Of course, now the 9 of clubs was the worst card probably in the deck. And we split the pot. He had top pair too. He bet the river to me, which is interesting. Table 1 seems to be dying, so I'm just going to close it. Table 3 has died a long time ago. Table 1 is good. This outside table is good. What about 4? Good player, but only one chocolate player. It's not enough on PLO25. So back to the lobby. What do we have? We have one table. We almost had a table there. And here's some kind of table that shouldn't have that many regulars. Nice flop on table 1 because we have the quads and we have the straight flush cut shot, but Jack 999, there's so many draws, straight draws, flush draws, that I'm just going to milk him if he was the turn, but he folds. I have never hit the quads and the straight flush on the same hand. That would be amazing. So, too bad the turn isn't 10 of hearts. Of course, then he has the king queen of hearts and we sort of cry. That would suck on 500 BB deep when you have the quads and straight flush and the opponent has higher straight flush. Now I shouldn't be jinxing myself. Or jinxing, how do you pronounce it? So, please, there's Chapman, he has asked, how about the railback at this level? It's pretty decent, defined decent. At Poker Stars, it's around 30%, 28-30. Of course, it slightly depends on your playing style and what do you do with the points, but if you use the points to get maximum value, then it's around 28. When you go to PLO5 or PLO10, it's slightly higher because you get more points per dollar. But it's around 30%, so it's decent. And of course, you have to remember that on PokerStars, the rate is smaller than on most sites. So even if the actual rate back is 30%, it's same as like 50% on some other sites. Because the rate itself is like 20% lower, depending on. Arthur Dent is coming along always, so that's why I'm calling for safe value. And I'm just giving up. Wow. This is strange. Busia opens, or he 3-bet me. He checks the flop, and now he raises the river. Can he make a blocker bluff? That's the question. I don't think he can, so I'm actually folding. I give him credit for that he has the nuts. Here we have a middle pair, a lot of backdoors. He hasn't c-bet with top pair earlier, we saw, so this is pretty much air or really strong hand. And if you count how much of his hands are strong hits and how much is total air, it goes to total air. But I don't think he's barreling the turn unless he has a hand, and he checks the turn. So I think his range is air or some type of aces. Probably ace king might. Yeah, he had an ace king. But earlier on the similar spot he checked back. Didn't see it. I have been talking a lot about Zoom and regular tables, and my honest opinion is I know that a lot of players like to see me playing Zoom, and on YouTube PLO Zoom is much more used keyword than just PLO. So people want to learn how to play Zoom, and they think that there's some kind of mystery on how to beat the Zoom. There isn't. If you have seen the post on 2+2 about when they compare Zoom rate to normal, or it's not rate, they compare. Wow. Hero call, and he had what he represented. Sucks, of course. So when there's a post in 2+2 about they compare 20 players with most hands on various levels of Zoom and normal tables in PLO, and most of the Zoom multi-tablers, like not the best players, but the ones who had most hands, so pretty much regulars that had the highest volume, they were all break even in up to PLO50 Zoom. In PLO50, some supernovas made profit, but up to PLO50, most Zoom regulars are actually break even after trade back. So in the normal games, they are losing money, and rate back keeps them break even. While at normal tables, the ones with the most volume were winning like 5 to 10 BPs per 100 hand. And the way Zoom is working, it totally makes sense. The one thing to show you is if you open the lobby and you check that what is the average percentage of players per flop, which means pretty much same as VPIP. If you look at the average VPIP on our PLO25 tables, you come here and let's say top 10 tables we have 45 or more. So the average VPIP of villain is 45. Now we go to PLO25 Zoom and the average VPIP is 22, which is half of what it is in normal tables. And especially at micros, passive calling stations give you money. That's how you make money in PLO. It's those bad fishes that has high VPIP. None of these nits or regulars are giving you a payday. It's these green players, passive call happy players, they bring the money to table. And now you can see that in normal tables there's probably twice as many of them as there are in Zoom. And as the rate is super high, like 20 BPs per 100 hand, it means that it's a lot harder to make money in normal tables. Here the turn and river are pretty bad, they don't improve our hand at all. And I'm not going to barrel these calling stations. So I give up and give one hand towards the end. So that said, if you have time, don't play Zoom. But if you are short on time, like you have 15 minutes and you just want to pick up a session, then Zoom is a nice option. Or if you are playing with your mobile, then Zoom is a nice option. Or if you are having a beer, having fun, you want to have action, Zoom is a fine option. But other than that, it isn't. Now the reason why people love Zoom, I'm going to say it once more. It's my crusade against fast poker. The reason why people like to play Zoom is because it's easy. Of course, they are making excuses. You go to any poker forum, there's a lot of excuses that, yeah, I play Zoom because there's a lot of fishes and I get so much volume and I'm making money and blah blah blah. Well, that's sort of bullshit. If you are making money on Zoom, then you are making more money at normal tables. But it's easy. You don't have to table select. You don't have to worry about dynamics. You don't have to observe the table. Should I stay on the table? Should I leave? It's so easy. You don't have to do any of those stuff outside the table that are often hard for people. People love easy stuff, and Zoom is easy. You click, sit in, and then you have the game. No table selecting, you have full action. The very same reason why spin and throws are probably quite popular among the bad players. Because, again, you don't have to do anything. You can get instant action. You don't have to wait for the table to open. You don't have to worry about regulars bum hunting you. It's just check and go to table. Or click and go to table. Wow, Systems are folded. I'm opening full pot against Arthur Dent because I'm only playing hands that can hit hard enough for me to start value betting. So I want to get the maximum value when I hit my hand. And when I don't, I just make a half a pot c-bet and hope he folds. But he raises, so yeah, he had a hand. He doesn't like to fold. Of course, more sample, but has check raised once out of 25 hands, so yeah, he has a hand there. But yeah, when you are heads up against really passive calling station, only open for hands that can hit strong, and when you open, always full pot. Let's play some roulette. There's going to be a three-way all-in, and aces versus kings versus rundown, and aces won. Wow, and 3 aces. Let's see if the Finnish player 3-bets us. He doesn't. Which is sort of nice, because we didn't have a great hand to defend. here I'm opening from the cutoff. I think, especially against passive players, you can open 3 card hands at Jack 10-9. And now when they both check, I'm just going to stab the pot. Because I don't think this guy ever has a king. And I don't think Arthur has when the flop goes check check. So there's a lot of folding equity. And we won the pot. And here some guy makes his first 3-bet out of 20 hands. I'm just going to fold kings there. Because if he has aces, we don't get the odds for calling. Here Buzia called pre-flop. Called me on the flop. He turned the straight, it goes check check. He has the straight on the river and he just checks. So kind of strange. Oh, we have a big flip here on outside table. We almost hit the trips. Have to fold. This Russian acromaniac is just making money by playing all hands. VPIP 93 and opening almost every hand. I'm making a this thin check raise here because I have 2 pairs and I have the cut shot. And there's not many hands that he can call me with. Even if he has king queen, it's not an easy stack off for him. Because I open pre-flop and instead of c-betting I check call and then I check raise the really blank turn. And king queen is type of hand that I'm afraid of here. And when he thinks, yeah, that's in his range. And against king queen I have jacks as outs, aces, deuces, so I have some equity. But I should have decent folding equity. And he's thinking so on, so definitely we had a folding equity here. And he folds. So that worked. Yeah, to Rotham, I think playing Zoom is not a crime. But if you play Zoom, I think the best thing you can do for yourself is being honest why you played. So it might be that people are, how do I say it? Let me put it this way. People are great at lying to themselves. It's in our nature to bullshit ourselves. So you might be thinking that you are making money in Zoom but you are not. So what you should do is go to Poker Tracker and check your win rate on big sample. Here we have a set against aces, which is pretty nice, and we hold up. Woo! Here we have a set versus aggressive Finnish player. Wow, should we stack off? I think we are fucking 200. I'm going to play small ball and just go down. As if he bets the river, he has probably something. And he had a king queen, yeah. Not sure if he would stack off. 100 pp deep, I would have stacked off instantly. Now we are 200 pp deep, so stacking off with middle set, bottom set in single raised board is, oh. If it was a 3-bet board, yeah, I would stack off, but now it was kind of, if I can use that sound effect. So when you're playing Zoom, the important thing is that you are honest to yourself. Why do you play Zoom? And when you know why you play it, then it's a lot easier. Of course, I play Zoom sometimes. I'm too lazy to open up the lobby and start to find good tables. I just want to start the games and play for 20 minutes and then stop. So, can't blame if someone plays Zoom, but at least I know why I play Zoom then. And one thing I didn't say is that actually for some players Zoom is better. Let's say you have great patience, you know what are good starting hands, and you like to nut pedal, sort of, you wait for the nuts. So you are great in that, but you don't understand anything about table dynamics. You can't play 200 pp deep, and you are not really good at understanding what is happening on the table. Like, yeah, the table dynamics, and use it to your advantage. You don't know how to table select. Then Zoom is better for you, but it doesn't mean that it's the best for you. Then you should learn how to table select. You should learn about table dynamics. And so on, and so on, and so on. Paistisi is asking what percentage of hands I open and unopen when you sit on the bottom against semi-good players, player who are not total fishes, which never happens in PLO. I don't get that sarcasm, it happens often. Let me put it this way, without any reads, I open 100% of the buttons in PLO25. Probably in PLO50 still. But as soon as I have even one hand on my opponent, or one note, then I can deviate from my standard line. And I have a stat in here, how often player folds from small blind and big blind. And here we hit the flush on the turn and he bets, or we have to call. And we have to call the river. And he has pair of jacks. Alright. That's one way of playing it. I don't know if he thinks he had a straight, because in Hold'em he would have had the straight. But thank you, sir. So yeah, I have the stat here, especially it was made for the Zoom, when I just wanted to create a lot of volume. So I have how often player folds in big blind when button opens and small blind. So when I have bigger sample size, I can see those. And then it's just about with the average VPIP. So if I think my opponent is going to call 100% of the hands, then the only way that I'm opening trash is if he's folding a lot post-flop. So if his VPIP is 100 but he folds 75% to continuation bets, then I open any hand, make a C-bet and print money. But like, if there's under dent on the blinds, calls a lot, folds, not so often, I'm only opening for value. If there's an aggressive 3-better, then I'm polarizing my opening range. I'm opening with air when I'm just stealing, and I'm opening with strong hands that I can comfortably 4-bet or call his 3-bet. So the percentages might go up and down, and if there's like huge calling station on my left, then my button range is actually quite tight, or tightish, 30, 35, not sure. So I don't have any specific number that I'm trying to aim to. That's one problem in good thinking process, that some players think that their pre-flop raise is average of 17 and they think I have to get it up to 20. And it's not like that. You have countless of unique situations, and as long as you do the best possible decision on each situation, that's when you make money, and the number goes where it goes. Of course, sometimes you should check your numbers to see if there's something that you haven't figured out yourself, like if your UTG pre-flop raise or VPIP, it's the same on UTG. If your UTG range is like 50%, then it's going to be bad. So you can check the numbers for bit overall each, but there isn't a number that you should aim to. If you think that you are playing not too many hands, so you're playing smaller amount of hands that you should then figure out the spots where you can open with wider range. And here we have two players, so I'm going to check this. In a heads up, I would bet the turn. But against two players, there's so many. There are 8 cards against us, so it's likely that someone has the flush draw. Pots come to unopened to button quite often. Of course, it depends, but it comes pretty often. Let's say we have Itrock here. He has played 150 hands, and there's 7 hands on him unopened, so like 1 out of 20 hands is, well, that's 5%. It's not much. My bad. Let's find someone else. Oh, this is small number. It's 5 out of 90. Yeah, well, it feels it happens often, because if you have like 6 tables open, it's like every other button is unopened. The question wasn't stupid. It's a great question. So I don't agree with Paistisen here. I think it's a great question, because of course you have to think. And it's something that sometimes, if you want to be good at poker, you need to be able to answer to all kinds of questions. And it would be nice sometimes to have this interrogation type of session with a student where I'm sort of aiming a spotlight to him and asking questions that, what is your button raise first in? And if they don't know, then why don't you know? What is your answer? Or what is your UTG range? What is your 3-betting range on cutoff? And they should be able to answer something. Of course, if they are good students, they always answer, it depends. And it's the only right answer in PLO. Here we have an aggressive player. Do we call? Why hasn't he C-bet? Now the stats are. I'm going to 3. We have double paired hand. It can't go wrong. Now we call. And then we figure out, do we have the equity? He insta 4-bet, so he has aces or kings. It doesn't matter. We don't pick up a flush draw. We don't pick up the clutch. So we have 4 outs, which gives us around 17%. Not enough. Although he has both sides, we need around 25, but I'm so sure that he has aces or kings that I'm just going to fold it. The reason why we don't sub pre-flop is that if we think he has something, if we think he has aces or kings, we can fold on those kind of flops. So instead of shoving, if we can fold even one flop, because he's not folding on any flop, he's shoving every flop. And if we can fold correctly even one flop, then it's better to just call and see the flop. Of course, he might have more than aces, that's another question, but yeah, he's 59-32, but out of 38 hands, he has 3-bet only once, and he made an instant 4-bet. If he has ace-king, I don't think he insta 4-bets. We have half an hour left. Let's see if we can find some green. Oh, there's 2 green players I want in. I'm going to call here. It's great that Paistisini tries to open up conversation. It's always a lot more fun if I can. Wow. Let's see what he does on the turn. Thought he has aces often when he pots, but he probably has 2 pairs here. Ace-3, yes, he had it. Woo! It was a correct value bet on the river. Here on table 2, we turn the set and flop goes check, check, check. So we are definitely calling. We get the odds. We have the straight too, but let's see what happens. I'm actually going to bet here. If he has the flush, he's going to call me, and if he raises, he has ace-jack, ace-king. He's never raising me without a bigger full house. And he folds. Ah. Blah. Well, maybe he didn't have the flush there. This is so familiar nickname. I have probably talked with this guy somewhere. Let's see how he played his aces. Oh dear. Well, yeah, if he 3-bets it here, then of course he has to stack off. Yeah, okay. It was normal. Nothing special there. Here we are again, so deep that we are just calling with kings. And oh, nice turn. Now we have to bet. And river is check call. Here I barrel. I'm going to barrel the river. Oh, he's only 120. 1 out of 5. The reason I want him to fold his flush draw that he might have, because if I check, I'm going to lose the pot always, and I think I can represent full house. But it's actually pretty close when he draws the flop and turn. Always remember that even if you, like Paistising here asks what is my button raise first in stat, even if he knows the answer, because I have said it many times, even if he knows the answer, you can always ask interesting questions. If you know the answer, it doesn't matter, I get something to talk about, and maybe someone else doesn't know the answer. So feel free to say some topics and create discussion. Table 4 we have double suited daisies, and table 3 we have kings, and we flop the meh. How do you pronounce it? And on table 4 we totally missed the flop. Romo Zekaru, whatever his name is, hasn't folded to any c-bet, and I'm just going to make really small one. Sometimes I win the pot, sometimes people call me with 2 pairs and I have a lot of equity. Sometimes they call me with ace king and I win the pot, and if I win it on the flop it's great. And now he bets the river. I'm just giving up. He never has a worse hand there. Busia is betting. I'm gonna call here. And when he checks, he doesn't have a jack. And he gives up. He had pocket things, so I'm going to make a note. So now I kind of know that if he fires the turn, then he probably has a hand. Which is great information. When in position, you mean if the opponent has opened and I call from the button. I think it's just easier to fold. Of course, if I know that his range is really tight, then I might fold or I might raise him if I think that the raise is profitable. And this is, yeah, of course, now I told you that, yeah, ask me questions, and every time I answer it depends. So there's not much discussion, but yeah, it depends. for me to make a bluff, I need to have information what makes me believe that the bluff is going to be profitable. Here we had an upper pair and bottom pair, but I'm just folding because the king is pretty much the only card we want to see. So if I want to fold someone or raise as a bluff, so I need to have information on my opponent. I'm going to value bet my top pair here against R210, and he min raises me. If my flush draw is alive, I can call, and 10 probably gives me at least a split pot, so I call. And 3 misses me, but I win the pot. He probably has queen jack. No, he has queen 5, which he min raises. Wow. Going to make a note of that one. I think that for often, if you don't know why floating or raising is profitable, then fold. It's the easy option. Because if you don't know what you are doing and why you are doing, you are just creating a mess on the turn and river. So unless you have a solid plan for the hand, just fold. Might have probably one. Not sure if we should have stacked off against this guy. How much he had behind? $16 and well, yeah, I think we have to fold. Yeah, 3-betting is often a good way. Of course, it depends on the opponent and your stack sizes. But it depends on what kind of low cards. If it's like 7-6 deuce, you can call because any card 10 or lower completes a straight, and if opponent checks, you have a great folding equity. Oh, we hit the straight on the turn. Woohoo! Us fishies. Oh, we have the nuts. Just put it. If he has a set, he's not folding. And sometimes people just shove their sets here. Of course, if he has a set and flush draw, we are in a deep shit. Well, we are 50-50-45 or something like that. But he probably fold. Sometimes, well, now the discussion gets interesting. When you are floating someone, the first thing you have to think, why do I float instead of raising? And there are a couple answers. You might want to balance your range, or let's say widen your calling ranges, or you think that opponent is going to play honesty on the turn, so you pretty much know in position what he's going to, or after his turn action, you know what he did. Oh, do we have the nuts here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have the nuts and redraw. I'm just going to call because it's a rainbow flop and hope like this aggressive guy overplays something. Ew. That's the one card I don't want to see. Let's hope 8th. Oh, close. If he bets big, I think I have to fold. Oh. Can't talk myself into folding. Yeah, he had a full house. Makes sense. Not sure if I should have folded or not. Probably should. Here on demo 3 I'm cold calling 3-bet because I have position on him. Out of position, even if it's double suited, it's a snap fold. And now I'm just potting it because I might have a lot of straws, he might overplay aces. Yeah, I think too, but he might have a smaller straight and he has really high aggressions, 50, 60 and 65. And he knows this guy is crazy because when I just check the flop, he doesn't think I have a straight. Of course, if I don't have straight, then I often have the full house, but he might be trying to make me fold and some kind of weak, I'm not sure. Probably should have just folded. The bet sizing was like, I have to be correct 1 out of 4 times or so. So it kinda got me to it. Here I'm value betting when the flush comes, so if someone has smaller flush, they are probably going to call me. But they don't. Probably should have folded. I fell in love with my Uber nuts. That's... Oh, I'm going to call his 3-bet because we are so deep. And we flop... Oh. Oh. We flop the world. Unless he has aces with diamonds. And I think we are going to huck the variance. If he has aces with diamonds, we don't have that many outs, but we have a wrap and flush draw. And we make the nuts on the turn, which eases our life a little. And now, the worst thing is that he calls, diamond comes, and he shoves. That would be so unfair. Yeah, it looks like a boat. But if it's any more passive post flop, it's an easy fold. Now, but the thing I wanted to talk about is that I made a rookie mistake. Just here's the situation. I thought, I remember that he opened pre-flop and made a c-bet on the flop. Yeah, half a pot. Oh no. Half a pot here is 2 pairs or set, pretty much always. Half a pot is a bet size on this type of board, often from these type of players that they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do with 2 pairs or set. Yeah, I thought he... I thought in the hand that he opened and made a normal c-bet, so yeah, should have folded. But the thing is that I have super nuts here. I have the nuts and I have the redraw to bigger nuts. And basic poker psychology is that when you have a really strong hand, like in Hold'em, when you have aces pre-flop, it's so hard to fold them on flop. Like here, I have a super strong hand. I have definitely fell in love with this hand here, and turn probably kills my hand, logically thinking. But I'm too loved. Of course, 3.5 I have to call. Might be an 8 on the river. But on the river, if I think back, especially when he just called pre-flop and bet half a pot, and that small bet, this is full house pretty much always. So, yeah. Two problems. One, I remembered the action wrong, and second, I fell in love with my hand. Shouldn't happen. But it's something you can use to exploit the fish. Oh, we have the nut flush blocker, but oh, he's a fish. He's not folding any flush, so we are just folding. Kinda sucks. Junior B is asking, should we raise pre-flop? We can, but when we raise, we definitely represent the straight, and then often people fold. If they have 5-7 or 5 deuce, we get the money in on the turn. And we have this super crazy player here, so I call and just want him to make something stupid. This time he didn't make anything stupid, but he might. And, well, there's only the pairing turn that we are afraid, and it happened this time, but 80% of the time the turn doesn't pair, and we get a great value. Of course, we are out of position, so yeah, raising is an option. This time I decided to slow play. But yeah, raising is not bad. But the reason why I just called is I thought he was c-betting. He has high post-flop aggression, and then we have this 97, 66, 19 crazy player here. But as he opened, he called. Definitely raised there. Here we're going to float. Nine is not a good card to bet because it doesn't complete anything. So we can't really represent much. And we didn't pick up any extra equity. So I'm just going to fold. But in here, if anything from 8 to deuce comes and or a club and he checks, I'm going to bet, and I have a lot of folding equity. We are almost at the end of the session, so it's our guessing time. If you want, you can try to estimate, did we make profit today or did we not? I have no idea. Yeah, we have some 200 BB stacks on some of the tables, but we have lost some pots. So I have no idea where we are. Just like so many weeks earlier. We might be winning, we might be losing. Potrel is... Nah. Let's keep this for the last 5 to 10 minutes. So great situation on the outside table. Let's see what happens. We have the nut and we have the redraw, but we are out of position, which sucks. Kind of same as before, we have the straight and redraw, but this time it goes check, check and turn pairs, it kills the action. Sucks. Out of position sucks. Like here. We flop the nuts with the redraw. We check, we hope to get a check raise, and they both check, turn pairs, they both fold. Well, probably they didn't have a hand, but even then, we didn't have a chance to get any value. Here he bet half a pot on the turn with just an overpair. So yeah, he can definitely bluff. But what comes to the big hand, it's such a spot that he's probably never bluffing there. Up 1.5 blind. Well, making profit is progress to previous weeks. I think that, well, I don't even know if we are winning in EV because we won a lot of flips. Of course, we lost the big one with 72%. But who knows? We will see it soon. And I'm out of drinks. So probably it's time to start the last orbit. I'm going to wait for one orbit on table 2. $16 and 9. What a neat. I'm going to label him as neat because we are not getting a lot of money with out of these 16 and 9 players. So red means that if there's not a lot of red on the table and not a single green one, it's not a good table. We have aces and this guy min bets. If I 3-bet, it looks like aces because I haven't 3-bet in this table at all, so that's why I'm just going to call. If I had double suited aces, I would 3-bet here. It's such a strong hand. And now we just call. Let's see if he bets the river. If he bets the river, I still probably call. The only hand I beat is kings with diamonds. Well, he had pretty much the nuts. Makes sense. The thing is that all the draws from the flop miss. But yeah, I have to make a note on the bet sizing. Probably should have folded the river there. Of course, when he shows the full house, it's obvious, but if he shows me kings with diamonds, or just flush draw, or 8, 9, 10 type of hand, then we would be talking how amazing the call was. Now it was far from amazing. Table 3 I have the top pair and 13 out of wrap. And he shouldn't have a strong hand. And we win the pot. This guy's pre-flop raise is 70, and if you look at his raise first in, he opens 10 out of 10 hands from UTG, has folded one hand from middle position and everyone else, so he's opening every hand. But he c-bets only 31% on the flop, so it's kind of weird that opens a lot of hands, but probably then doesn't follow up with a lot of hands. I'm opening jacks to create a multi-way pot. That's the... because I know he's coming along, and after that everyone else comes. And if I hit the jack, I probably get nice value, but no, I don't. So the only guess so far is up 1.5 buy-ins. Everyone else knows that it's impossible to estimate the result, so they are not even trying to guess. Might be. The outside table, we open as a steal, we pick up open-ender, he donks, raise small, he calls, we call, we pick up the nuts with the redraw, and now we raise. Because if someone has queen 10, we can free roll for a big pot. And neither one of them had anything, so didn't get money there. Ace is on the next hand. I can move it to here. And we missed the flop, but neither one of them is aggressive, so we see bet. And Hunton raises me 88-0. We need around 40% here, and we don't really get it, so just let it go. Some interesting hand on table 1 as the last hand. We can multi-way pot, and on the flop we hit a gut shot. 3 outs to the nuts. Pretty much. Check, see if we get the free turn. If someone bets like pot here, we just fold. Now we wait for the tables to finish so we can see our profits or non-profits. Tension goes up. Oh, these tables are closing down. I'm going to move them to here. And where's the pork tracker? It's in here. And ooh, it's always something that I'm not sure what to do. Oh, this way. This is... Oh, oh, I went to the old tree. I looked at the graph that, oh, 4101 and 2 binds down, EV 2 binds up. Yeah, this is exactly the same as last Friday on the Finnish coaching. Well, it is the last Finnish coaching. So that's why it was so similar. So we find here that today and oh, wow, this is a surprise. Haven't had positive surprises often. Now my computer froze up. Oh. We made over 4 buy-ins as winnings, and we actually run over EV, but our EV was 74, which is sick because in the end we lost some big pots. Wow. Wow. Yeah, it's nice. This is kind of graph that I like when it's going up. Well, $107 or something like that. Yeah, 108 almost. So it was a nice session. And it's so nice to have a winning session after all these bad runs we have had. So now it's time to fight back. Thank you, and for Rolfum, come to next Wednesday a little earlier. It's 9 at Finnish time. Not sure what it is in any other international time, but in case you miss, there's going to be video on YouTube at some point of every coaching. If you go to YouTube and search for Poker Mania PLO, you're going to find pretty much hundreds of hours of playing. Of course, sometimes it's hard to find any interesting stuff there. So make sure you come to the live coachings. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please join the live chat and live coaching. Then you can ask questions, ask me to explain more of my thinking process, and you just interact with me and you learn so much more than just watching. Passive watching doesn't really improve you. Come to the chat, talk with me, and that's when you improve as a player. Totally free. But thank you. It's time to go to bed or to wherever you go. And to the Finnish viewers and those who want to watch but don't understand Finnish, we'll see you on Friday evening when we have the Finnish PLO. I'm Kyyberi. This is PokerMania.com, the best poker community in the interweb. Have a good night. Bye-bye.